Hello and welcome to Minecraft and all the mods 10 to the sky. Today I am streaming this because we're still working on some technical difficulties with the editing, so I didn't want to create too much of a backlog in the Stardew Valley series and have like huge delays. So we're doing a little bit of a filler stream. I'm on a little bit of a Minecraft kick at the moment. Every 1 or 2 years I generally like to play a Skyblock, just because it's my favorite kind of Minecraft that there is. Before we get started, let me just quickly shoot out a message to the Discord, get that all up and running, and we should be pretty much good to go. For those of you watching the VOD, this probably won't be edited down into a regular video. Like I said, this is sort of just a little bit of a filler content. And for those of you wondering if this is worth watching, I am not a good builder. I am not an expert. I don't know all the mods in this mod pack even a little bit, but I do like automation. So if that is something you're interested in, we'll probably be doing a decent amount of that. We are going to create a brand new world, and that world is probably just going to be called ChubbyPanda, to be completely honest with you, because I don't have a better name for it. So unless you guys have a better name suggestion, get it in quick, because this is about to be named right here, right now. Yeah, we're just going to go for ChubbyPanda. That is the name. And let's get started. We are going to start on the classic Sky Factory start, because that's what I like to do. It feels wrong starting on an actual island and getting a whole bunch of free resources. It's just not like how I like to start my Skyblocks, but that is definitely personal preference. And no hate to anyone who does like to start that way. All right. First thing we have to do is type in Skyblock GUI. That'll bring up the team screen. We are going to create a new team. This is the ChubbyPanda team, and we are going to go ahead and choose Sky Factory as our start. Go ahead and create that. And this is what we are working with: a singular tree on a single piece of dirt. And the very first thing that we have to do is dig down and mine out this tree. There we go. We now have our very first resources. We did manage to get a sapling, so that is fantastic. First steps first, let's open the quest book and have a look at what we are doing here. The welcome screen has a couple of things that we can just quickly go ahead and accept. Accept all of those. Food and farming has some stuff that we can't quite get to yet, although we can get a couple of extra saplings if we want to. And the starting out quest is going to give us some steak, some torches. There are a head start in here if you want some extra resources, and there is also an emergency sapling. But for right now, we've punched trees, so we'll get ourselves a crafting table on a stick and some oak logs. I'm immediately going to put that crafting table on a stick into my curio slot over here. That is bound to V for me. And then we can go ahead and break down our oak planks into oak slabs and start building out our platform. I'm going to go for 15 by 15s here. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in each direction. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 7 out from there. 1, 2, nope, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know how to count. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll basically just go ahead and fill this entire thing in with these slabs so that we have somewhere to stand. Now, I have the bug at the moment where I can't actually turn my light overlay off. If you just hold it down for a little bit and then press it a couple more times, it should disappear. I don't know why that happens. Happened when I first loaded the game, and it hasn't happened since until right about now. So if you are having that problem, that is how to fix it. All right, I'll slowly build out this platform just so that we have a little bit of room to work with, and then we should be good to actually get started in this skyblock. I can't imagine this is going to be the most popular stream in the world that I've ever done, because, you know, it's not really a Minecraft channel that we are over here, but you never know. I feel like Minecraft is one of those games where it's universal enough that I might get a couple people. If I don't, it is what it is. I'm sure we'll manage. All right. This is the last row to go in over here, and then we'll spin around and start working on this side. And of course, we can twerk to grow our trees, which is just lovely. We don't have to wait around for them to grow up. I might just grow a couple because I'm probably going to need them here in a second. Another little trick that you can do, if you didn't know, is if we go ahead and craft these into oak planks, we take our oak planks and we go ahead and build up 3 here. We can then break these bottom 2 slowly because we don't have any tools yet. And then once we place a sapling down in here, twerk to grow it up. It can take a little bit longer to grow, but you can see we get a much bigger tree, giving us 21 wood at a time thanks to Ultimine rather than the regular like 4 or 5. So that is very nice to do. All right, we should almost have enough slabs to get this done now. Let's see. That's fine. All right, we might just be shy, but we're very, very close, I think. I think this is the last row going in here, and we have 22 left. Perfect. All right, there is our ginormous platform. The next thing that I want to work on doing is getting some... Well, firstly, let's get ahead and get some chests set up just so that we have them readily available to us. And I like to leave a 3x3 at the end of each of these. So I'm going to start my chests over here. And this chest can be like general resources, and then this can be miscellaneous things that I don't particularly need right this second. Let's go ahead and organize the hotbar just a little bit. Get some things that we probably will need. They can stay up there for now. And then I think I want to go ahead and start getting some stone. To do that, we shift crouch and right click on the soil. I have an auto clicker running at the moment, so this is a lot quicker. If you stand away from it, it won't fill up your inventory. You can do this for a little bit and then you'll get tons of resources. It takes a while, but we shouldn't have to do this for long. And honestly, that's probably more than enough to get us started. So let's stop that, go ahead and pick up our loot, and we get a whole bunch of pebbles. What we can do is we can shift K these in our inventory to automatically combine them into their block form. And that should do all of the blocks in our inventory. Now, I personally hate these pebbles, so they are immediately getting sent to the trash. And then we can go ahead and sort our inventory. You can see we've already got like 4.5 stacks of cobblestone, which is fantastic. I think the first thing I'd like to make is a couple of furnaces. Just get that out of the way before I use my cobblestone for other things. And then we can also go ahead and make our very first tools. So I'm going to make a pickaxe. I'm going to make a shovel. Pickaxe and shovel. I'm going to make an axe. And then I'm going to make myself a paxel, just so that I only have one tool in my inventory. And then we can go ahead and make ourselves some hammers so that we can start breaking down these materials. Now, I'm going to put everything in there. I don't have enough sticks to do it, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and clear that out and make myself a couple more sticks before we get started. There we go. A stack of sticks should do the trick. And then we'll go ahead and try and make 9 of these hammers is what I'm looking for. So I'll put 9 cobblestone in there just so that I can shift click on that and make all 9 at a time. Press U to open up what I can use it for and make myself the compressed stone hammer. Perfect. Now to start with, I'm going to keep my cobblestone around for the moment, but I will go ahead and compress up my andesite. Basalt can stay. I will compress up my diorite and my granite. And that should be a pretty decent start in terms of getting some gravel. So to do that, we simply place these compressed blocks down, just like so. Doesn't really matter as long as they're touching. Grab out our compressed stone hammer, press the grave key to bring up Ultimine, and get to breaking those down. And they should all turn into compressed gravel, which we can then go ahead and turn into regular gravel so that we have that. Perfect. All right, let's do a quick little inventory cleanup here. I consider basalt, blackstone, and cobbled deep slate a little bit miscellaneous. I'll also throw any spare of my stone in there. I will keep the rest of that on me though. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up my furnaces over here. Just like so. That should be fine. All right, next step, we need to worry about getting ourselves a sieve, which we can do. We also need barrels, which I would like a few of. I'd like more than that. Okay, let's just go ahead and harvest up some wood for a little bit here, and then we'll worry about all of that. Get some resources first, and then go from there. And then, again, this trick gave us 22 blocks of wood, which is so much better than just mining the small trees over and over again. Every now and then, it gives you this weird bug where it doesn't grow the bottom section of the tree. It's not a big deal. You just break it and you save yourself a sapling. Nothing to be too concerned about. But yeah, this is so much faster than doing the regular method. Thank you to whoever showed me this. Oh, don't forget to put down your sapling, otherwise you're just working for no good reason. Sometimes, like I said, it takes forever for the tree to actually grow. I think that's because there's a chance to grow the smaller tree and it just can't grow here. So it like skips over that and doesn't do the growth tick, but that's fine. And on this tree, I think we'll finally have enough wood. So let's just gather up all of our resources and start making a couple of crooks. Give me that. And we can go in here and we can make some crooks. I'm probably just going to start with like 4 of them for the moment. That should be more than enough. And we can go ahead and start breaking the leaves, hoping to find ourselves a silkworm. But we didn't get one. So we'll break this tree, grow a new one, and repeat until we get a silkworm. Easy enough. Okay, that is the smallest tree I've ever seen, but that's okay. Go ahead and break that. We've got ourselves a couple of silkworms. Let's go ahead and break this tree down, start another one, and then we can infest it with those silkworms and get ourselves some string. 2 silkworms can go in there. We'll wait for that to convert, and that should be good to go. We also have a much better supply of wood at this point. Very happy with that. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves an extra stack of planks and call that good. All right, now we need to craft a couple of things. We need a barrel or 17. I am probably going to make like 9 of these. I will also go ahead and make myself an oak crucible, if I can spell it. Let's go ahead and make 2 of them. That should be enough. And then we also need some sieves, right? I'm going to make 6 of these because we get 3 from a quest. So that'll make a total of 9, which is what I want. Let's clear that. And then we need some string for the meshes, right? That should be good to go. Let's go ahead and check our quests, see what we managed to get. All right, we need to get string in order for that to complete, and that will unlock this. And then once we have our string meshes, we'll get an extra 3 of each, and that will be fantastic. All right, this shouldn't take too long. It looks like it is still working though. So there's really not a lot we can do at this point, but that's okay. That is okay. I may as well go ahead and compress some of my cobblestone down as well. Just because the more gravel we can get at the start, the better. I am going to leave a little bit in my inventory, like I said though, because that is going to be important. We can go ahead and compress this cobblestone further as well, just to make this a little bit quicker. So we have 2 times compressed, 1 times compressed, and we can go ahead and break those the exact same way with the compressed stone hammer. And then we can turn those back into regular gravel. And as you can see, we have plenty at this point. That should be more than enough to get us started. I imagine this tree is pretty much done. So let's grab our crooks back out and go ahead and vein mine as many of these leaves as we can, getting ourselves a whole bunch of string. I'm going to jump break this one if I can. And that is probably good. I should honestly go ahead and grab this last little bit here because we have the crooks for it. So let's go ahead and do that. Break the tree down and we should be good. All right. Break this. I don't know if there's a chance for that to give me flint, but I have another method of getting flint early on, so I'm not particularly concerned about that. I will go ahead and plant another tree while we're waiting and doing other stuff. Let's go ahead and throw out a couple of extra saplings in there. And we should now be able to go ahead and make 6 of these as well. Completing another quest. I didn't want to make that one. Okay, that one can just go in the bin. That gives infesting our trees and sieves. That gives us 9 sieves and 9 strings. Absolutely amazing. Now, unfortunately, digging through grass, cobblestone, hammers, all of this is actually unlocked behind observing a grass block. So we can't actually do that just yet, which is honestly a little bit frustrating, but that's okay. Now, I did say I was going to immediately upgrade these string meshes, and I am. The way that I'm going to do that is by making flint from gravel using a mesh. The mesh is a very simple recipe. It's just 4 sticks and 5 string. We can go ahead and make that. And then we need gravel, right? And we need 4 times 9, which should be 36, I believe. 36 flint done. We can then go ahead and press U on our string mesh, bring up this recipe, and immediately upgrade those to flint meshes, which I think is worthwhile. So let's bring our sieves out, get our flint mesh, and where do I want to build this? I think I'm probably just going to build it over here. Something like so. Get these all meshed up. And we should probably work on getting a little bit of dust sieved as well, just for a couple of different things. So let's go ahead and just compress. Yeah, that's probably enough. 7 compressed gravel. We can go ahead and put that down. Re-break that with our compressed stone hammer. That'll give us sand. We're going to put that down. Re-break that, and that will give us dust. Perfect. Now, assuming we have any inventory room, which we do not, I can go ahead and throw some of my things away. We'll throw the string away for now. We don't really need it. The oak crucibles can come out, and we should probably just put those down. That can go back in there, that can go back in there, and the crooks can probably go back in there, and that'll be fine. All right. Oak barrels, I will probably set up just along here. So we have 12. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like so. That's probably okay. And then we have 2 of these as well, so they can just live there for now. And my spares, I'm just going to throw out because I don't really need them. All right. From here, we can start to sieve. And I think I want to do my gravel first. So again, auto clicker. This should make this go very, very quickly. We'll get a whole bunch of chunks and a whole bunch of other stuff. So shouldn't take too long because we don't have too much just yet. But then we can go ahead and immediately switch over to our dust and get that done as well, which should give us some more resources, including some redstone. All right, with that done, we don't have quite the room to get everything in our inventory, but that is okay. Let's get all of our chunks in there. Go ahead and pick up everything else that we can. And basically just throw it all in this singular chest for the moment. Our storage solution will be sorted out a little bit later on, but for now, this is what we're working with. All right, that is done. We don't have a lot, but that should have completed a couple of quests, including ore chunks, which gives us 3 iron and 3 copper. And then it starts teaching us about duping, right? So we need to make ourselves a squeezer, which is going to require 10 iron. And we can make the copper ore hammer, which requires 2 blocks of copper, which might actually be a little bit tricky. But as you can see over here, we've completed a whole bunch of other quests as well. So I'm going to quickly go through and see what we can't get from these, because I happen to know some of these gives you pretty decent rewards. What did we get there? An upgrade base is actually fantastic. Basic armor, we've completed redstone. These all just give XP, so it's not that exciting. But I do know somewhere in here we get a decent amount of something. I just can't remember where, and I'm not 100% sure if it's a chosen reward or not. So I am going to go through and do this individually just to make sure that I don't miss out on anything. Efficiency 3 book there is quite nice. We get some 16 cobblestone, we get a chisel, we get 16 regular stone, 5 to 10 dirt, 16 oak logs, a whole bunch of saplings. We get a saw. That is not it for there. It was one more. We get a crafting table, which we definitely don't need. We get a random reward. That gave us some saplings, I guess, unless this is still updating. I'm not 100% sure. Hostile neural networks, just some XP. Starting out, we've unlocked something else, making dirt. We get a little bit of extra dirt from that, which is always nice. And then create. What are you going to give me? 16 andesite? Sure. Productive trees. Big book of trees and a pollen sieve. And Zycraft is just XP, I believe. And a couple of blocks, which will probably break down so that they're all the same. Okay, so we didn't get it yet. I can't remember where it is, but somewhere gives you a decent amount of iron. And I honestly don't remember where it is. And that gives you a compressed iron hammer, which is quite nice. That gives you sand. I know that's in here somewhere. I know that it's in here somewhere. That gives you an extra 4 flint meshes. That gives you 5 and 5. Where is it? One of these things gives you like 2 blocks of iron. I swear. I might be making it up, but I swear that's true. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm sure we'll find it eventually. It is what it is. All right, let's just get all of this crap organized. All of our saplings can go in there. These will eventually get broken down. Let's go ahead and just throw as much as we can in here without making too much of a mess. Upgrade bases. Yeah, that can all just go in there. I'm keeping these on me because I want to break them down. Andesite can go in there. Feathers can go in there. Crafting table can just get thrown out. More saplings. Alright, that should be it. And then we should be able to just break these down into their gem form so they stack nicely with everything else. Right? Makes sense? Perfect. Alright, now, copper ore. Since we don't have any tools yet, there isn't really a lot we can do in terms of duplicating this, but the copper ore in particular will get duplicated if we break it. That turns into 10, which is good, but not quite enough for what we need, which is unfortunate. We're going to have to sieve a little bit more gravel in order to get that done. Let's go ahead and grab out some coal. Go ahead and turn that into tiny coal, just so that we're not wasting it. Go ahead and load up these furnaces and start smelting our copper. We should actually have more than this. This was just the 3 that we got from the thing, but we also have 17 copper ore in here that we can go ahead and compress into its regular form. And then from there, we can do the exact same thing, break it, and that should give us enough copper ore for our very first ore hammer, I believe. I think. My math might be wrong, but I think that's enough. I think that's enough. Now we just have to wait for it to smelt. We should need 18, so yeah, we definitely have enough. 17, 18. Perfect. We can then go ahead and turn that into 2 blocks of copper. Grab out our sticks. I'm going to grab out some logs and some planks, just so that they're in my inventory, because we end up using these quite a lot at the start of the game. That should be fine. I'll go ahead and organize the inventory a little bit. And then we can go ahead and throw those back. Go ahead and make ourselves a copper hammer. Just like so. Copper or hammer. Perfect. And then our next trick is iron. Currently have 27 of these. That's probably not going to be enough. That means we have 9 iron ore. Now, from my experience, we can't break the iron ore and duplicate it, So that the best thing that we can do is not a lot, right? We can use the copper ore hammer on that and just immediately double it. But for right now, until we get the squeezer, I don't believe there is a better way of duplicating this. So for right now, we go like that. That'll get us 18, and that actually should be enough for the squeezer, which will be very nice. So let's go ahead and get these all smelting, making sure to take out our copper, otherwise things won't work. And that should be good. Go ahead and throw my smelted ores in that chest for the moment. The organization system is definitely not there right now, but that is okay. We will get there. I'm also going to break that sapling and just generate up a whole bunch more resources while we wait for that to all smelt up. And honestly, that'll probably do. That seems like heaps, and that's probably because it is heaps. Yeah, absolutely tons of materials. It is nice that it's so easy to get cobblestone early on, but I definitely want to automate that sooner rather than later. So from there, I'm going to compress up all of my andesite, all of my granite, and all of my diorite, just to get those running. And then over here we can place in the deep slate, the blackstone, any additional andesite, diorite or granite, and basalt. That'll be fine. And then we just have a whole bunch of cobblestone ready to be worked with, and a whole bunch more gravel. Now we could go ahead and just straight away turn this all into gravel and dust as well, and I honestly actually think I might. Let's go ahead and compress all that cobblestone, compress it again. That'll give us 4 times 2s, 6 times 1s, and that'll be fine. Let's get rid of that because we don't need it, and just move everything over. All right, let's go ahead and break this all down into gravel. Simple as that. We just vein mine this entire thing, and we should have a good amount of gravel to work with. Perfect. And we can even compress this gravel down if we wanted to, and make this a little bit quicker. If we go into our actual crafting table, then we have 6 times 2 and 7 times 1s. I think I want to actually prioritize sieving dust at the moment, so I'm going to take these times 2s, switch those over to dust, and I'll keep the 7 times 1s for regular gravel at the moment. So we'll break all those again. We can sieve sand as well, but I don't really need any of those resources just yet. So let's start off by actually not sieving all of this, because I would like, if I open my crafting table instead of my regular inventory, I would like at least 1 dust times 2 in order to turn that into clay later on. And then the rest of this can be used for sieving. So let's get to sieving that. We'll organize the inventory. And the main reason that I'm doing this is purely for redstone. We need a little bit of redstone early on to get things up and running. Alright, that is all done. We've got a decent amount of redstone at the moment. We can still definitely use more, but 39 is a good starting point, and I think that'll be absolutely okay. Alright, let's grab all of our iron out, go ahead and turn that into a block of iron, just one. And that way we can go ahead and get ourselves the squeezer. Now, this is going to be replaced with the mechanical squeezer later on, but for right now, this is the best we can do. From there, we're also going to grab ourselves 2 armor stands, if we can. We need smooth stone slabs, which is smooth stone. Thankfully, we did get stone as a quest reward, so we can go ahead and smelt up. I believe 3 is all we need in order to make the 2 armor stands. So let's just do this, split it around, just so that it's a little bit quicker and we don't have to wait quite so long. We are also going to need a clock, like so, which is chiseled stone bricks, which is stone bricks, which is stone. Perfect. We should be able to do that. Stone, slabs, chiseled stone brick. And I'm actually just going to make all of those because I will end up making more clocks later on down the line. And then we just need 4 of our redstone and we can go ahead and make the clock. Perfect. And these should now be done and we should be able to make up our armor stands. Right. Smooth. There we go. Just like so. And we need 2 armor stands. And that is all we need. Actually, it's not. We also need a lever. But that's pretty easy. That's just a piece of cobblestone, which we should have. Go ahead and make a lever. Perfect. All right. With that, we can start automatically breaking down our ores. Where is the middle? That is the middle. So let's go. Sometimes this spews out, so I like to build it a little bit further in. Let's go there. Should be fine. Redstone clock there. Armor stand on top. Give it a quick jump. And that should start pulsing. Then when it's in the air, we can place the second one. And as it comes back down, it fully squishes. Right. Perfect. How much iron do we actually have? We have 8 iron, so we should, in theory, be able to make ourselves a hopper, which I believe requires a chest. If I can remember the hopper recipe by memory, I can. Perfect. And we can simply go ahead and place a hopper into there. And that is our very basic automation setup for right now. Now, our main resources that we're going to need probably aren't in here because they're going to be iron and copper, right? So we don't have any of those at the moment, so we're going to have to do a little bit more sieving in order to make that happen. Let's go ahead and clean up the inventory. The iron can live in there. The lever is for the redstone clock, just so that we can pause it if we want to. You can also change the tick rate on this. If you shift right-click, it goes a little bit faster. The lowest number is 5, and we can go ahead and pause that for now. We should probably also consider making a bed, but our platform is currently small enough that mobs shouldn't spawn, so I'm not particularly concerned about that. And we should also probably go ahead and actually eat something. That seems rather important. Right. All right. From there, let's go ahead and sieve up a bunch more gravel. I think that is going to be important. Now, unfortunately, we only have a stack of this, so it's probably not going to give us a ton of resources, but it'll get us started, right? Perfect. Did we get... Okay, we got 2 iron. Better than nothing. Better than nothing. Let's go ahead and throw all of those resources back in there. Sort this out. Okay, we can only make 1 copper, and we can make 2 iron. A little bit lackluster, but that's okay. We'll smelt a little bit more later on. I just wanted to show how this system works. So we go ahead and place the iron ore in there. It goes in there and then comes back out as raw iron. Now, unfortunately, that does feed it back into here, but you just simply right-click, get that out, and then you can start your next material, right? That gives us 7, actually 8 copper from just the 1. So that is a fantastic method of getting a bunch of copper. And then we can go ahead and take our copper ore hammer and break that down into 16 copper. So we get 16 copper from 1 ore. We got 12 iron from 2 iron, right? So a pretty decent return if you really think about it. All right, well, let's go ahead and split these up, get them smelting. We're going to need them sooner rather than later. And then let's have a look at what it takes to make cobblestone automated. The first thing we're going to need is water. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves another tree. And I should have some saplings in here. Grab those out. Go ahead and plant the tree and get that grown up. Grow up, please. Like I said, can take longer with that block there, but it's definitely worthwhile. It's definitely worthwhile. There we go. Weird tree, but that's fine. Grab out 3 flint. Go ahead and make ourselves some flint shears. And grab ourselves some leaves. Perfect. From there, we can go ahead and harvest this tree and rinse and repeat. I am tempted to go ahead and make this tree farm bigger, but I think we'll be fine as it is. We also won't get any additional saplings from this, so keep that in mind. And then once our flint shears do break, we can go ahead and simply repair them with more flint. Nice and easy. Alright, that is probably enough of that tree harvested. Let's go ahead and get that done. And then, from there, we can go ahead and take these leaves and throw them into our oak crucibles. You also could wait until it rains, but this is just a little bit faster. Let me go ahead and organize this so that it is all nice and neat. I believe we also had a couple of leaves left over in here as well. And that should be just about it. And then with the barrels, we can simply use our auto clicker again, instantly fill these up with leaves. And these will turn into dirt, which we need a little bit so that we can start making grass and, you know, get things done. The auto clicker makes this so much faster. Just filling these up. To show you guys the difference, if I do it manually, this is how slow it is. And if I use my auto clicker, that's how fast it is. And this will probably be the last one as soon as it fills up, because we only have 3 leaves left. I did accidentally put a leaf there, but it's fine. We don't have to worry about that too much. And then we can go ahead and gather up all of the dirt we just made. As soon as this one is finished. Perfect. And that is an additional 25 dirt. And the reason we needed to do that is because we need grass seeds in order to progress in the quest line. So I'm just going to do this 9 at a time because I don't want to waste a whole bunch of things. And we already got grass seeds. I wanted to get my mycelium seeds as well, but I might wait on that just a little bit. So for now, I think I will just go ahead and replace this middle section with a 3x3 of dirt. The reason I don't want to just place it down there is because as soon as I put a sapling on that and grow up a tree, it's going to change back into dirt. So we'll grab our grass seeds, go ahead and throw that right on the edge. And now you can see we've seen grass, which gives us an additional 5 dirt. We've seen stone pebbles. We currently don't have any cobblestone in our inventory, but we can simply go ahead and grab one. That'll complete that. We need to make a stone hammer, which is easy enough to do. Go ahead and make that and put it in our inventory, wait for that quest to complete, and then immediately throw it out. Just because it is something that we need. We've got gravel, we need sand, dust, and the other crushed things. We've already got flint. We have upgraded meshes, we just need to take them out of our sieve here. That should complete that quest, and we can go ahead and place that back down. Gives us an additional 4 that'll probably just get thrown out, to be completely honest with you. We've done that. That gives us some additional iron. Grass seeds, we get some more of those. Passive mobs, some raw beef. And yeah, we're looking good. We have a bunch of things that we can auto-complete. Keysol, hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. How you doing, my friend? It's quiet in here today. I sort of expected that because we are playing Minecraft, and I'm definitely not a Minecraft channel, but I was feeling the itch. You know what I mean? I was feeling the itch. All right, let's go ahead and organize this inventory because it is currently a mess. I'm going to get rid of all these pebbles. I don't want them. And I wish there was an auto place in this. I know I can get that once I upgrade to barrels, but for right now, it's a little bit of a painful process. Flint blocks can get broken down. Gravel will keep. Oak saplings can go back in there. And yeah, we now have 33 dirt, which is much, much better. Perfect. All right, with that all done, it is now raining, so doing this whole barrel thing was completely a waste of time, but that's okay. That does give us the opportunity to go ahead and make ourselves some clay as soon as this barrel fills up. Didn't even know you were streaming. I saw the Discord notification, but I thought it was a video. No, it's just me over here doing some streaming. So we have compressed 2 times dust. Place that in there. We get compressed 2 times clay. which means we don't have to worry about clay for quite a while. And with that, we can go ahead and take that, break that down into clay times 1 and regular clay, which we can then break down into clay balls if we need. Now, that's not unlocked yet because we technically haven't handled any dust yet, which is just a little bit silly, but you know, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and compress a cobblestone and we'll break this down, get all of the necessary requirements. There's compressed blocks, there is gravel. Let's go back into here, compress that. This should give us sand. As soon as we uncompress it, perfect. That is that quest complete. And then we can recompress it and break that down into dust, which gives us the other one. So there's sand, there is dust, there is compressed blocks, a compressed iron hammer, which is nice. We need to pick up one of our crucibles in order to get this quest to complete. I'm not worried about the water in there. I will go ahead and replace it down though. Done. And crushed deep slate, crushed blackstone we'll get to eventually. We now have clay. We need to make some porcelain clay. But we also need to clear out the inventory. Didn't know you could do that with compressed dust till I saw Dye do it. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's so much better than doing it manually. It is such a nice quality of life thing. Alright, now this chest is full, I can just quickly go ahead and do everything that I have in my inventory. If it fills a slot, then it was already in here, and that's fantastic. I am going to just trash this crook to put the sugarcane in, because it's taking up room that I don't want it to. And, I mean, cobblestone can probably come out of there, to be completely honest with you. We really need to work on our storage system. That, I think, is going to be the next step. But we have a bunch of resources that we could probably just go ahead and sieve right about now. So let's get this all organized. That can get thrown out. Clay ball can go in there. Flint can go in there. Cobblestone can live in there for the moment. And let's get this sieved. We also got another oak crucible. We'll go ahead and throw that down. That can fill with water while it's still raining. And yeah, we'll see what we get. Alright, nothing too exciting, just a few more resources that we had already. I think we got our very first Certus as well from that sand. Nothing to really write home about. We also got some iron nuggets and yeah, our first Certus quartz crystals, which will mean applied energistics comes relatively early in this pack. Alright, do we have any additional iron or copper to break down? No. So, let's just go ahead and throw our copper in there, turn on our auto crusher, and watch it go. And of course, take that last one out because this isn't a perfect setup just yet. But getting 38 from 5 is insane, and then we double that again. So I think it works out pretty well. Alright, let's go into here, use our copper ore hammer, hammer all of that down, and we will need to make another one of those, but that is okay. Let's get you in there, you in there, you in there, that'll be fine. Perfect. Alright, and we can already make an additional one of those, so that is fantastic. K to make those into blocks, U to see what we can use it for, scroll over by 1, and make sure that we have sticks in our inventory. Sticks. You should show up. Use that and crush down the rest of our iron. Perfect. Get that all started. All right. Next thing is next. Moss we could do, but I want to do porcelain clay because I want lava so that we can go ahead and start automating cobblestone. Thankfully, we have a whole bunch of clay. Like a whole bunch. More than I probably need. Let's go ahead and compress that down. Leave that in there, and we'll just use the 64 that we've currently got with our 62 bone meal, which is actually kind of unfortunate. Let's just do 32 then. 32 should be more than enough. Clay balls can go back in there. And from here, we need to make ourselves a unfired porcelain bucket and a crucible or 7. We can make 4. Let's make 4 of those then. And the extra can just be trashed. honestly, I don't need it. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and throw those in there and wait for one of these furnaces to be free. Actually, let's just move those over to there. That'll be fine. And get our unfired porcelain bucket going in there. Perfect. Making progress. Slowly but surely. Porcelain bucket should be a whole bunch more quests unlocked. That gives us a bucket of water, 2 more crucibles, some netherrack, and some XP. Water. Again, another bucket of water. We now need a bucket of lava. And because it gave us netherrack, I believe the idea is that we go ahead and light that on fire with a flint and steel, which we just need a singular piece of iron for. Grab that out, flint and steel, grab that, and we can now start producing some lava. The question is where? Why did I leave a 2 gap here? I don't know. Let's go ahead and make some room. I think we need... How many of these do we have? That's a fantastic question. We have 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. The middle is here. So 5, 6. Or we just do it right to the corner. I think that's probably the better idea. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can just go light, 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 light. And then we need to get on top of this and go crucible, 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 crucible. Perfect. Just the right amount of blocks. We lost one of those netherracks, but I'm not particularly concerned about it. I'm pretty sure that is not a hard thing to make. Let me just make some oak slabs to repair this up. And we need to grab out some cobblestone. Make ourselves some lava. Which we should have plenty of. Alright. Lava in each of these. F6 to start my auto clicker. And they should now all be full. And producing lava. Perfect. Alright. We have 2 porcelain buckets of water, which is the perfect amount to go ahead and make ourselves an infinite water source. And I think I would like to do that over here, maybe. Where do I want to do my infinite water source? Let's do it over here. That seems like it'll look pretty good. Grab myself some cobblestone just to build with for the time being, which is in here. And I like to just do this in the ground, so I go under, 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 build this up, jump down, and we can go all the way around, just like so, with the handy building things that are included in this mod. And grab our water buckets, water bucket there, and that is an infinite source of water ready to go. Perfect. Now we're just waiting on lava. And I actually think we need glass as well. And in order to do glass, you can do the exact same trick that we did with the clay and actually smelt compressed sand to get that done way, way faster. Let's get all of that back out. I'm going to throw away that porcelain. I really don't need it. Netherrack can live in there for the moment. This is all going to get cleaned up relatively soon. I hope. That can go in there. And I mean, we only need the 1 piece of glass, so I'm not particularly concerned about doing the trick where you smelt a whole bunch at once. Once we have automated cobblestone, then this will be way easier. So let's, for the moment, just do a singular piece of compressed cobblestone. We'll break this down all the way into sand, and then we can go ahead and throw that in our furnace and get that working. Alright, this should be pretty much done at this point, and it is. We should probably refill that up, but yeah, it's fine. That gets us some more netherrack, and now we need to go ahead and make our stone generator. As soon as our glass is finished, we have a glass times 1, which means we have 9 glass. Perfect. Alright, throw that in there. The netherrack can go in there as well, and then we need a stone gem. And this is just going to be cobblestone, glass, lava, and water. More cobblestone. So I do need to grab out my cobblestone. grab this, and we can go ahead and make that. Perfect. Looks like the bucket of lava was consumed, but I don't really care. I don't really want these buckets for the long term anyway, so I'm not particularly concerned about it. The other thing that I wanted to quickly check is if we can actually make a singularity tank or not. That is just glass and iron. So yeah, I'm willing to do that. Let's go ahead and can I just only make one because I didn't make enough glass? That is kind of annoying. I kind of want 2 of these. All right, let me make another piece of 9 glass, and then we can go ahead and set up this cobble gen. All right, put you down, break you again. That is sand, and we can get that going in there. Looks like we need some more coal. I'm just going to borrow it out of here for the moment. Perfect. There's our glass. Let's go ahead and get that up, and then go into here. Search the recipe for that. Make another singularity tank, and the reason that I want these is because we currently have a wooden platform. I don't want it to burn. I'm honestly terrified of this section already. So, yeah. But what we can do with these is we can place them down, like so. Place the cobble gen in the middle. And then we just need a bucket of water in there. Grab ourselves a bucket of lava, and that makes us cobblestone. Now, we need something for it to, live in, which is why we needed the redstone. I want to go ahead and make myself a compacting drawer if I can. If I can find it. Compacting drawer. I'm going to pin that to the other side and see what we need. We need stone. I think we still have enough. We have 9 stone. Should be enough. We just need a regular oak drawer, which is just a chest. We still have wood in our inventory. Perfect. Go ahead and make that chest. Oak drawer, like so. Compacting drawer is just going to require 2 pistons. And compacting drawer can be made. Perfect. All right. And then this simply goes right on top of there. We grab ourselves a little bit of cobblestone to get this started. And we are now generating infinite amounts of cobblestone. We can speed this up by upgrading it later on, but for right now, this will do the trick. And you can see we can immediately pull out 2 times compacted cobblestone up the top if we need to, which is very, very nice. It's not the fastest, but it's not the slowest. If we wanted to upgrade it, stone gen. This is used for the copper block generator. We just need some copper, and we honestly could probably immediately upgrade to copper because we have plenty. We can then upgrade to iron, and actually that might be what I do. Let's go ahead and break that. We will need an additional bucket of lava, which we should have over here, as well as a bucket of water. And then assuming we have copper and iron on us, we should be able to go move items, build that, grab ourselves an extra bucket. And I will use this one for lava because it really doesn't make sense to use the one that disappears on us. Although it might be nice to get it out of our inventory. Go ahead and use this, and that is our iron block generator. If we wanted to upgrade it again, we would need gold. We currently don't have any of that, but now if we place that down, you can see this is going much, much faster. Perfect. All right, that should be more than enough cobblestone for right now. Let's go ahead and clean up the inventory and see if we can't sort out this situation over here, because at the moment it is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. I also should probably go ahead and make myself some kind of a sword. For now, I think I will just go ahead and use iron to make sure that we are at least somewhat protected. I'm also going to throw out that porcelain bucket because I hate it. And grab out 3 more iron just so that we always have 2 buckets ready to use. All right, perfect. With that done, I want to start making barrels. Specifically an oak barrel. And that is going to require redstone torches. Easy enough. That is just redstone and a stick. Grab out our redstone, oak barrel, redstone torch, go ahead and make one of those. And then we just need slabs, which I should still have somewhere in here. I imagine. There we go. We have 11. There's none in there. Perfect. All right, oak barrel. Let's go ahead and make that. Then we can upgrade this. And I think I will go ahead and immediately upgrade to iron, assuming that I have enough. And I should. Perfect. V, U, make that. And then U on that. This is just 8 gold, which we might be able to make. Yeah, we have... maybe. If we go ahead and throw this in our squeezer. Jump up, please. That gives us 3, which will give us 6. So close, but so far. Is that really all the gold we have? That is unfortunate. Okay, well, it is what it is. We'll start smelting it up nonetheless, and yeah, it should be okay. For now, we have the iron barrel. I really would like to get that up to gold before I go too much further, though. So let's use this. We currently have 16 times 2. I'm going to wait for that to hit 19, and then we can use the times 3s to just get an absolute ton of gravel. So I'm going to take all of these out until I reach 18 in my inventory. Hit V to open up the crafting. Ah, my base is on fire. Put that all out. Can I please have a little bit of cobblestone, and let's surround this, get this fixed. Alright, that should be a little bit better. For now, I'm just going to fill this in with cobblestone, and we'll pretend that never happened. Perfect. Please don't catch him on fire anymore. No one saw that. Right? Alright, let's put that all away. Hit V. Compress this cobblestone into 3 times. And now we can go ahead and break this down into gravel. And I think gravel is what I want for the moment, because I want gold, I want iron, I want all of those things. And you can see that is a lot of gravel. So we're going to sit here. We're going to crush that all up and get a whole bunch of resources. That's the plan. And you've got to love an auto clicker, don't you? It just makes this so much easier. So much easier. I mean, it takes a while still, but, you know, we'll automate this eventually. All right. And that is a whole bunch of resources we didn't have before. Let me just pause quickly. Something happened on... Someone got banned for something. Ah, someone was trying to sell me followers. Perfect. All right. Now we can't store all of this, so this is where chests come in real handy. But for right now, we're just going to put as much of this in here as we can, and then we'll probably have to compress a whole bunch of it. Any of them that are full stacks can probably come out, especially the copper, the gold, and the iron. We'll go ahead and compress those into their block form, like so. These can now go back in, and we may as well do the rest while we're here, but for right now, I'm just going to get all of this cleaned up. And that should be everything. Let's go ahead and just grab all of their chunks out and compress them all so we're not taking up nearly as much room. Chunk. Any more chunks? Yes. Just a couple more chunks. I think that's all the chunks. And then we can open our inventory and compress them all into their block variants. I think that's it. I think that's it. Any chunks can go back in there. Flint can go in there. Lapis can go in there. Flint can go in there. Pointed dripstones can go in there. And that is going to be a ton of resources. Now, I'm going to start with the copper, just because we are going to need quite a few copper hammers to manage to process all of this. And this is going to take a little bit of time. But, you know, things are going well. We've got some stuff automated. This is one of the most important early game automations, and I really love the trick of using the singularity tanks in order to get this done, just so that you don't have to worry about, you know, lava burning your base down like this did over here. Because that is not something we want. And now if we want more clay, we can simply go ahead and use these, and that'll get us a ton, right? But we don't really have the inventory space for it right now. So I should probably go ahead and actually start doing gold in here before I even do iron, because I need gold in order to make that upgrade. But I also need iron in order to upgrade my flint meshes, right? And that seems equally as important. But let's go ahead and do the gold first. Now, with all of this copper, the question is it really even worth doubling? And I think, honestly, the answer is probably yes. It's just a little bit painful. So let's grab out the rest of our copper and start doubling all of these up. We're going to need a whole bunch of hammers. So let's make 3 of them. Get that in there. Use on this. 3 hammers. That can go in there. That can go in there. And then we can slowly but surely start getting these broken down. And that is a good chunk of copper. We are probably going to need more coal, but that's okay. At this point, I'm quite happy to start using the regular coal. So let's grab all of the coal out of these, throw that all in one, just so that it's all nice and together. And then we can start, whoop, that's not what I wanted. Coal in there. Coal in there. Grab that out, coal in there. And we'll go for the coal pieces in this last one. That's going to burn up a little bit quicker than the rest, but I'm perfectly okay with that. All right, that is a whole bunch of copper. We have 6 gold. We need a little bit more. How is this doing? This looks like it's done. Grab that out, and then we can throw the iron in next. All right, go ahead and process up that raw gold. And honestly, let's get that out of there because I would like gold before that. And can we throw a little bit more of these in here? Perfect. We could also potentially go ahead and upgrade our furnaces, but I think I want to upgrade our meshes first. We just need 1 more gold. Perfect. And now we can go ahead and upgrade our iron oak barrel to a oak gold barrel. And then from there, we would need diamond, I believe. Yeah, and we don't have diamond yet. To get diamond, we need to sieve gravel, but we need to sieve it through iron or above. So that is the next goal. For right now, this oak gold barrel is going to be our main storage. I'm going to throw that right about there. It's a decent size. It's decent. It's not too bad. And I'm going to throw most of my crafting ingredients in there for now. Eventually, this barrel will hold pretty much everything. Yeah, I don't know. Can I make another barrel? Just another oak barrel? Redstone and slabs? I might be able to. Alright, let's go ahead and make... Nope, that's not the right thing. Oak barrel, redstone torch, build that. Oak barrel, get that. This is going to be our ores chest, right? Our raw ores. They can live in there. And our chunks can live in there as well. because that makes sense to me. Keep them all together. Perfect. Chunk, 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 chunk. Sort that. Perfect. And then... That's actually not where I want it. Does this... Yeah, breaks everything. Perfect. Let's get that up there. That makes more sense to me. And, I mean, I guess the dust can go in there as well. For now, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Alright, how are you guys doing? Slowly but surely getting there. We should have a bunch of iron ready to go as well, which we desperately need. And then we can figure out what we want to throw in here next. Tin, zinc, lead, silver, osmium. Osmium's probably the next most important thing, so let's get that processing. Oh, furnaces are so slow. I always forget how slow furnaces are. But we do need to break this down first, so let's go ahead. Do we have any hammers left? Or do we use them all? Wildly surprised at this stream. Do I need to backtrack to the start or good to watch from here? You're absolutely good to watch from here. I can catch you up real quick. Skyblock, start breaking trees. We got sieving up and running. Have you... okay, first let me ask you. Have you played Skyblock before? Or are you completely new to Minecraft? Like, what's the situation? Because then I can figure out how much I need to run it back for you. Yeah. Do we have that? No. Of course we don't. Why would we? Alright, let's get another 6 of these made. Clear that. Use for that. 3 of those. Throw those in and start doing our iron doubling. OG Minecraft player, no Skyblock. Okay. Do you know the vibes of Skyblock though? I imagine you probably would if you're an OG Minecraft player, right? I would be wildly surprised if you didn't. Let's throw that over there for the moment. Not the regular ore though. The gist, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So we started on a singular tree with some dirt. We broke that tree, made ourselves a platform. From there, we started to shift right-click on the ground with an empty hand. That gets you little stone pebbles. From there, you can turn that into cobblestone and the like. Then from there, we made clay, which allows us to make lava. With lava, we're allowed to make ourselves a cobblestone generator, where we are generating a decent amount of cobblestone. From that cobblestone, we can go ahead and turn that into gravel, sand, and dust, which we then sieve for materials. And then we process those materials with a squeezer just to make them double. That gets us these raw chunks, and then we use a ore hammer to break those into 2 of each. Basically, like quadrupling to 6 timesing our ore. And then we smelt it. And at this point, I am just figuring out where I want to put everything. And for right now, that is going to be this oak barrel. That's the general gist. I am just going to grab everything that is somewhat useful to me and throw it in that chest for the moment. Everything else can pretty much stay where it is because I don't particularly need it just yet. Grab the clay out, so does quartz, amethyst. Aluminium ore chunk doesn't belong in there. That can go there. And this is going to be my new main chest, right? With all of my useful resources. Perfect. I would also like to grab out anything useful from this chest. So I'm going to grab andesite, basalt can come, blackstone can come, bone meal shouldn't have been in there in the first place, chiseled blocks, deep slates, granite, flint, feathers, dirt, diorite, Seeds and stuff can stay in here. I'm not particularly concerned about that. Slabs. Saplings can probably stay in there. String can come with me. And upgrade bases, string, glass. Yeah, that'll probably do for now. Get that all in there so we're a little bit more organized than we were before. Alright, perfect. From here, I would like to make myself sophisticated crafting upgrade. Crafting upgrade is going to be crafting table, iron, upgrade base, and a chest. So that seems pretty doable to me. What do we need? We need upgrade base. We need a crafting table, which we can do pretty easily. We also need a chest, which I like to do manually because there's so many different variants. And we need 2 iron. 2 iron. That way we can make ourselves a crafting upgrade. Throw that in here, and we now have a crafting inventory in our storage chest, which is where I'm going to be doing most of my crafting from. From there, I would like to make a stack upgrade of some description. So stack upgrade tier 1 is just wood. That allows things to have up to 2 stacks per slot. From there, I'm going to take that all the way up to stack upgrade tier 2 if I can. But I don't have enough iron for that, although I actually do. Never mind. Alright, so I need 2 of these. 2 of those. Then we can use this, transform it into that, and that is going to allow 4 stacks in each slot. From there, gold, we might have enough. Not quite, but I think we might still be smelting some. No, of course we're not. I took it out. Alright, we probably have enough copper at the moment. Let's go ahead and just get a couple of pieces of gold going. Throw those dusts back in there for the moment. And that'll take a little bit of time, but that's okay. Alright, good. I'm also tempted to make 2 of these. So, if I go for the recipe, I just need some more planks. Just clear that out for the moment. I need more planks. Perfect. I need that. And then I need tier 1. Then I need this, which requires 2 blocks of iron. That can go there. And then, hopefully, we have enough gold to at least make 1 of these. Use that. Gold blocks. 2 gold blocks. Use. I need 1 more gold. Of course I do. Use. Put that in. And that is a stack upgrade tier 3, which means we can have 8 stacks per slot, which is fantastic. I'm going to throw that in there, sort the inventory, and that all compresses way, way down, right? So much better. So much cleaner. And we can craft from here, which is the main thing. And we can have 2 of these stack upgrades in here at any given time. So that is fantastic. I think the next thing I would like to address is the fact that my furnaces are super slow. So, furnace is... what mod is that? That is iron furnaces. Upgrade. I would like stone to iron. Can I do stone to something else? No. Okay, stone to iron is just going to require some iron and some dark stone. I don't know how I get dark stone, but we'll figure it out. Oh, it's just any stone. Perfect. Alright, I would like ideally 4 of those. What am I missing? More iron. Okay. Okay. Get that. That is stone to iron. Those can now be turned into iron furnaces. It's going to bring all of the things out of them. I hope I didn't lose too much of that. I very likely did, but that is okay. We'll figure it out. Alright, that can go back in there. That can go back in there. That in there. That in there. And that'll be a little bit quicker for the moment. We can still speed that up even more. Did I get a whole bunch of gold from that, or did I just lose it to the void? I'm pretty sure I just lost it to the void. Well, that sucks. Let's also grab out a little bit more of our iron and some gold. Get this split. We need more coal, please. And get that all smelting. Perfect. All right. And then if we wanted to do iron to gold, we are looking here, right? Okay, that's relatively expensive and it actually requires silver, which we haven't made yet, but that's okay. That is okay. I think the next step should be upgrading our sieves so that we can start getting diamonds. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself with these at the moment. We could, however, put some speed upgrades in them, which would make them faster. Is it worthwhile? Let's find out. Iron speed is paper, sugar, redstone, and stone. I think we could probably do that. We have a little bit of sugarcane, so we could get that going. I also don't know why my grass isn't spreading, but, you know, that's fine. We'll be okay. I should probably also go ahead and refill these so that they have stone in them, so we're producing lava in the background. And I can actually grab a couple of... Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I can actually grab a couple of stacks of cobblestone, and now that this can hold multiple stacks at a time, I can place that all in here, and it won't take up multiple stacks. Fantastic. Alright, that can go in there. Iron dust can go in there, and in there. Gold, how are you going? Perfect, that should be enough gold to go ahead and make the other stack upgrade. Use that, put that in there. And now we can have 4,096 items in a single inventory slot. You can use the watering can to make it spread? Really? I did not know that. Is that why they give you that? Are you lying to me? I feel like you're lying to me. I feel lied to. Can I twerk on it? Or is it just because it's currently dark? If I make myself a bed, will that fix itself? If I make myself a bed, is that the reason? Because the sun's not out? You need water and sunlight? I don't know. You can go right there for now. No, you're definitely a liar. Oh! Never mind. I forgive you. I didn't actually need it to spread. I was just curious why it wasn't. But thank you. Thank you for that. Let's throw those in there, that in there. That'll be fine. Alright, we need iron. And I believe we need 36 iron, which we should now have. Let's go ahead and get these all upgraded. If we hit, where's the last one? Oh, there. Hit U on that, shift click, iron mesh. Perfect. From there, we need 36 gold. Do we have 36 gold? We have 7 gold. 23 gold. We need 3 more gold. Do we really not have any more? That's just rude. That's just so very rude. Well, I'm disappointed. I can't believe we're 2 gold short. That makes me so sad. I know that I can upgrade like most of them. Yeah, I guess we do that. It's going to be better having 8 gold than 9 iron. So that's fine. Alright, and now we should be able to go ahead and throw that away and grab ourselves out 18 of these 2 times compressed cobblestone, open our inventory, compress these up, and make ourselves a whole bunch of regular gravel. Alright, that should be enough gravel. This should get us a decent amount of diamonds as well as a whole bunch of other resources. Let's get to 7. And actually, I need to go to the bathroom, so enjoy this sieving while I go do that. And I'm back and we're not even finished sieving yet. But we found diamonds. Alright, with that done, that is a whole bunch of resources. The first place I'm going to go is this chest, because it already has some of these chunks in it. Place those in there. Any additional chunks I can go ahead and throw in as well. And then I should be able to come over here, press the exact same button, and most of that is going to go in. We've got 54 diamonds, 37 emeralds, a whole bunch of stuff that I don't really need, but that's okay. We also still have that iron mesh, and we have raw gold. Where did we get raw gold from? Can you get that from sieving? Huh. I didn't know that was... Oh, it's because I've got a golden mesh, and I very rarely use the golden mesh. Okay, well that's good to know. That means we can go ahead and break that down into its gold dust form and go ahead and start smelting that up so that we can upgrade that final mesh. Fantastic. This chest is getting rather full, and we have a whole bunch of stuff left to collect. So let's get all of that in our inventory, and I would like to make an additional stack upgrade. Yeah, I'm going to take out anything that isn't these chunks for the moment, and that way we can organize this chest a little bit better. Alright, let's transfer everything in, sort it out. Do we have any chunks left? Yeah, we have aluminum chunks left. Alright, and then from there, I would like to honestly just put these in here for the moment, and we'll come back to them. I just want my inventory clear while we get this done. That can go in there. Iron can go in there. Sticks can go in there. That's fine. All right. From here, I want to make a couple of things. I would like to make another stack upgrade, which should be doable. It doesn't need to be as big as the other one. Upgrade base. Tier 1. 2 iron blocks. Tier 2, and I might just I don't know if that's enough. That's probably enough. We sort that? Yeah. 1 stack per. Teresa, hello there. Didn't expect a ChubbyPanda stream tonight. How much did I miss? Not a ton. This is all we've got done so far. We started with a singular tree and a piece of dirt. We got wood, made a platform. We shift right click the dirt to get pebbles. We make those into cobblestone. From there, we break that down into gravel, sand, and dust. Sieve it, get resources, and then squeeze it with this setup over here, which jumps up, armor stand up and down on a squeezer. Doubles, sometimes triples or quadruples the ore. Then we use an ore hammer to double it again. Smelt that down, and this is pretty much what we've got so far. That's your little catch up. What was I doing? Oh, that's right. I was upgrading this chest. So that should be enough. Now we can go into memory and select all of those slots so they are always what they want to be. And that'll be fine. And then we can go ahead and make ourselves upgrade. I want to go from basic to iron, which is just going to require ourselves a redstone torch. Go ahead and make that. And the reason that I want to do that is not so much for the storage, more so for the fact that we get an extra slot in here. And with that slot, we can go ahead and make a compacting upgrade, just the basic one. That is going to be another upgrade base. And 4 pistons, which we may or may not have the resources for. It looks like we have the perfect amount. Fantastic. And then we can go ahead and make the compacting upgrade. But, oh no, we do have room. Perfect. All right, so we can throw that in there, check these settings, and we can say compact anything, works in GUI as well. And then we simply take all of these out, place them back in, and we now have the raw blocks auto-crafted for us. Makes that so much easier. And then with those done, we can go ahead and take basically everything out of the top of this and say, if it's in there already, put it in. And I will leave the iron copper raw stuff in here for the moment. I think that is absolutely fine. Kiwi can go in there. That can go in there. Dead bush can probably go in this chest because we don't really need it. And we may as well take all of this out of this chest at this point and throw it in here, just in case we need it. We should now have enough gold to go ahead and upgrade this last iron mesh. Perfect, throw that there. And we should also have enough diamonds to then go ahead and straight away upgrade these to diamond meshes. So, shift click, diamond meshes. Perfect. And with diamond meshes, we can now get most of the things. Netherite, what's it called? Yeah, netherite, right? Netherite scraps come from ancient debris, which comes from sieving blackstone, blackstone, or blackstone. And then the netherite meshes we can't actually make yet because we don't have a smithing template. So this is going to be the highest tier that we get for a little while. I think at this point I will just go ahead and break down 18 of each of these into both sand, dust, and gravel, and just do a whole bunch of sieving so that we've got enough materials for everything that we need to do. So it's probably going to be a little bit of sieving here. I probably won't talk all that much during that process because there's really not a whole lot to talk about, but that is what we're doing. We'll start with gravel because it's the first step. So get all of that gravel uncompressed, and now we just stand here and sieve a whole bunch of gravel. I do love a good skyblock. It's my favorite type of Minecraft. I don't like messing with the natural world in Minecraft. I feel like I always make it ugly, but since we're starting in the sky, everything I build is, you know, it still might be ugly, but at least I didn't break something pretty to start with. You know what I mean? And this process doesn't have to go on for very long. We can automate this relatively soon. I'm hoping that after we sieve two of these compressed, triple compressed of each, we should have enough resources to build a whole bunch of different stuff. That's the plan anyway. Do any of you guys play modded Minecraft very often? Like I said at the start of the stream, it's one of those things that I play maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years. But when I do, I like to go all out. So, yeah. But now that we have these chests organized, we should just be able to go transfer into, and they'll automatically get compressed, which is fantastic. It's going to leave some stuff in our hotbar. I'm not particularly concerned about that because this shouldn't, in theory, fill up the rest of our inventory. And we should be able to just make 2 quick more trips. Throw that in there, and throw that in there, and then we can throw the rest where they belong, right? And we already have 390 lapis. Redstone's a little bit lacking, but we have 109 diamonds. We should probably go ahead and make diamond tools at some point. But yeah, that is the general plan. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with sand, and then the exact same thing with dust. There is our sand. Go ahead and uncompress it so that we can sieve it. Playing the same pack? Hell yeah. Did you just start, or were you playing it before I started? The start can be very slow, I will admit, but it's kind of fun, building up from absolutely nothing. Purely a watcher when it comes to modern Minecraft. I enjoy other shenanigans. That's fair. That's fair. And when we put these items in our chest, we won't have a lot of them yet. So, I mean, most of them are just going to go in our regular chest anyway, so we're not particularly concerned about it. But yeah, that is something to keep in mind. We don't have a lot of the stuff that we just got from the sand because we haven't really been smithing, doing a lot of sand stuff. So that gives us a whole bunch of iron nuggets, which is nice. We can immediately turn them into iron ingots. We get fluorite, cactus, uraninite. Nothing we really need right now. The main thing we're looking for with sand is charged Certus quartz and regular Certus quartz, which we get a decent amount of. Not enough goats? I apologize. If we get a market, are there goats in Minecraft? Can you get goats in Minecraft, or is the closest you can get sheep? I know you can get a panda, which I think we're going to have to do at some point. Alright, that is all in there, and then we'll do it one more time and do it with dust. There's our dust. And go ahead and sieve one last time. This is mostly for redstone. No goats? That is so sad. They need to add goats to Minecraft. I'm sure there's a mod for it. There has to be. We're almost done with sieving, I promise. Gives my voice a break. One day. Maybe. It'll probably never happen, if I'm being completely honest, but maybe one day. Alright, that should be a decent amount of redstone, as well as some sulfur, arcane crystals, salt, those things we already had. Perfect. And a whole bunch of blaze powder as well, which we will eventually need too. Perfect. Get all that in there, and we have a healthy supply of resources. But we need to start worrying about all of our ores. And I think we need to upgrade our setup over here. I kind of put this in a bad spot, if I'm being completely honest, but I think that's okay. Let's start by getting rid of that hopper. Let's break this ground. And then I think I want to get item pipes. So hopper can go in there, and we're going to use the pipes mod with item pipes. And that is going to require a whole bunch of iron that I don't currently have, but I probably also do have because it might be in here. No, we are out of iron. Well, that's unfortunate. Although we do have a whole bunch of iron nuggets, which we can go ahead and turn into iron, right? The easiest way is probably not doing it like that, but instead going in here, pressing Shift K. That turns it all into iron for me, and that should give me enough to get this started. We just need 2 droppers. And then we can go ahead and make ourselves some iron pipes, as well as a pipe wrench. And then we can get this started. All right, I also am going to need a barrel. Oak barrel, please. That is going to be a redstone torch. Oak barrel is going to require oak planks. And that should be it. Let's grab that. And the plan here is to go from there. That is going to be an output into this chest here. And that should take anything from the squeezer and put it in there. I don't 100% know if I put something in there. Let's just try this. The single thing. Okay, that doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? I swear that's worked before. Oh, maybe I did it different. I'm gonna lose this barrel, aren't I? Yep. Bye, barrel. Bye, pipe. Maybe I didn't have the extractor on? Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Now it's doing the thing. And I need another barrel now. Well, that's unfortunate. Redstone torch. Oak barrel. And let's try that again. Now if I put this here, and I put something in there, it's going to steal out the aluminum ore, right? So that's not what we want. I need access to that pipe. And I can I see it somehow? Okay, hold on. Hold your horses. Let's go like that. I can't jump up from there though. Hold on. Hold on. Give me some cobblestone. Just the one should be enough to get this done. Let's go there, put that there, then I can jump down. And then I can see this. So I'm going to need an upgrade for this so that I can filter what I want to be in there or not. So if we search for the pipes mod, I want an advanced pipe upgrade, ideally. That's going to require 4 blocks of redstone, which we should have. And an improved pipe upgrade, which is going to require the basic pipe upgrade, which is going to require some nuggets, which we should be able to get no problem at all. Basic pipe upgrade there. Improved pipe upgrade there. Advanced pipe upgrade. Perfect. All right, now we should be able to come down here, shift, throw that in there, and now we can filter this. So the only thing is I don't know how to do this. Give me a second. Pipes, filter, NBT. How do you filter with this? Okay, I just want ores to not be filtered, right? So if I grab aluminum, actually let's throw all of that back in there and just grab out one of each. I know I can add these all in manually, but if I could get them to filter by MBT data, that would be so much easier. So add, if we put that in there, tags with prefix. How do I see the tags? Minecraft or tag. Mining for ores, the tag ID is forge ores. So if we get rid of that, forge ores, does that work? No, of course not. Does anyone know how to do this? Forge ores? I don't know. Ores? Ores. Forge ores? It's red, so I imagine it's not working, right? C ores? I know there's a way to do this, and the ores. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Submit. And that should be a blacklist because I don't want any ores coming through, right? And then we can go from here. And I'm going to need another pipe upgrade. So, basic pipe upgrade. Actually don't know how many upgrades I need. The gold one might actually do it. But I think we can build this anyway, so I'm just going to go for the advanced because we can. Use on that. Get that there. And from there we can go like that. Go ahead and throw that there. Throw that in there. Go for whitelist and then C #C ores. Submit. And that's thrown out a whole bunch of random stuff. That shouldn't have ended up in there, but that's fine. And they can go back in there. That can all go back in there. Grab that. And they're still just popping out the top. Why are they popping out the top? And being flung all over the place. Okay, stop. Why are you not picking things up? Did I set the filter wrong? I think I did it right. Stand by. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I really need an empty hand for that. That's so annoying. Alright. That should be a blacklist, so everything else can go through. Maybe this doesn't drop as an item. Maybe we need to do this another way. Chunks might also have the same tag. How do you check? How do you check? I think there are mountain goats at the much later version, but I couldn't tell you which version. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe one day, Fox. Maybe one day. Because I've done this before. I think I did it with a hopper upgrade. Actually, maybe I just did it with a hopper. Hold on. Am I being dumb? Let's grab a hopper and see if this works. Let me just quickly grab out. Okay, I need that. Grab that out. Just so that I don't lose it because I feel like that's going to get lost to the void. Okay, it didn't. If we just do that, does this work? No. Same problem. Okay, I know I did this. I know I've done this. I think I might have just used a hopper upgrade though. Okay, we might lose this barrel again. Yep, there it goes. Probably lose that hopper as well, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and just throw this down here so that we can get down there. And then we can go ahead and make ourselves, yet again, another oak barrel. Right? Redstone torch. Oak barrel. And then hopper upgrade. Sophisticated thing. Hopper. Which needs a chest. Hopper. Like so. That is a hopper upgrade. And I feel like this worked when I tried it. If we throw that there, throw that in there, turn this on. That works. That must be how I did it. I genuinely don't understand why that would be the case, but you know what? It works and I'm happy about it. All right, let's go ahead and throw all of our dusts and things in this bottom chest. That makes more sense to me. And we should be starting to get resources. Fantastic. We have a hole in our base, but I don't mind. It's working, and that is all I really care about. And the filter on this should be working to only pull out the ores and leave the chunks alone. Perfect. They're probably not in the best order, and this is dreadfully slow. I also don't know why. Sometimes it's not bouncing both of them up. Maybe my tick speed on this is too fast. That seems better. Alright, perfect. That'll do. That should slowly but surely generate us some resources. Fantastic. That can stay in my inventory because I'll probably use it again at some point. And yeah. Alright. I would like to upgrade this to a mechanical squeezer at some point, but that requires mineral, which requires moss, which we don't currently have. I also imagine I have a whole bunch of quest rewards. So let's go ahead and claim all of those. I do like to check all of these manually. I know that it's entirely unnecessary because there is a claim all button, but I like to see what I've done and what I've still got to go. That's done. We still need obsidian and all that. That's fine. Basic storage is done. Apparently I never made a copper chest. Upgrade bases, fantastic. Always nice to have. Anything else in here? Yes. Sometimes it's so hard to see the little tick. There we go. A couple barrels, potentially. Basic armor is just going to be mostly raw materials over here. I didn't mean to click on that. Basic power. Uraninites. Mostly just XP, but I'll still take it. Basic logistics is going to give us 2 chests for some reason. Some iron. Advanced pipe upgrade. Item pipes. Always nice. Building tips is going to give us some extra glass. As well as some extra glass. Block of iron. That's where it was from. So once you have your first block, you get a free block of iron. So if you're trying to make the hammer nice and early, that's probably an easy way to get there. We have drawers. That's going to give us an oak log. That means our inventory is full. So let's go ahead and... Oh, it wasn't even full. Okay. Well, still. We'll go ahead and throw everything mostly back in here. I think the gravel should be uncompressed, as well as the sand. Oak boat with a chest can just go away. Basic to iron tier. Yeah, they can just go in there for the moment. Barrel and upgrade base for backpacks. Fortune book can go in there. This is starting to get rather full, but that's okay because we still have more upgrades that we can apply to this. This is currently gold, and we could probably go ahead and make it diamond already. Diamond. Gold to diamond is just going to be a redstone torch, as well as a whole bunch of diamonds. And then we can go ahead and apply that there, and we get a whole bunch more room. We can still make this netherite as well, and we get an extra upgrade slot. Perfect. Alright, what was I doing? I genuinely have no idea. Oh, that's only 1 netherite ingot. That might be worth trying to do. That is with blackstone, and specifically compressed blackstone that is then crushed. So let's go ahead and compress that. Throw the extra in there. We'll go ahead and get these crushed up and try and find ourselves our first ancient debris with this blackstone in the diamond mesh. F6 to strain that. That is going to give us extra blackstone back as a reward. So this is sort of a recursive thing that you can do. You can see we got a whole bunch of pebbles that we can then go ahead and turn. I made that polished blackstone instead of... Well, that's annoying. Can I still crush this? If I go use... No. I can chisel it back to regular blackstone though. Okay, okay. And we managed to get 9 ancient debris, which is fantastic. This is chugging along nicely. This is probably going to need an upgrade at some point, but yeah, we're going to have resources in no time at all. Did we get a chisel? Yes. Is that the right chisel though? Polished blackstone? Can't go in there. Is that right? Blackstone can. Polished blackstone can't. Use. That's re-chiseled. This is from chipped. Okay. Re-chiseled is just really steel? That's rough. I mean, we can make steel, but that's kind of annoying. Ingot is going to be from smelting steel dust, which we make with coal and iron dust. Iron dust should be there. We should have a bunch of coal, so it should just be 1 iron dust to 4 coal, I believe, with a ore hammer. And that is steel dust. We'll make a bunch because we'll probably need it later on. Throw that iron in there and throw... Where did it go? Steel. Give me that steel dust. Perfect. Chisel reburn one. Ah, I just made stuff. But that's okay. Chisel. Oh, that's the wrong search bar. Chisel. Chisel reborn. Okay, let's make that chisel. Go there. Polished blackstone into blackstone. Thank you. Perfect. Alright. Those chisels can both go away. That blackstone can go in there. Aldermodium, magma cream, and gunpowder can go in there. Ancient debris I will deal with in a second. But I wanted to go ahead and use this craft to go ahead and make blackstone ×1. So that we can go ahead and re-break this and re-sieve it to get even more ancient debris. That's right, we're going to need steel soon anyway, so it's not a problem that we made it early. And then we can do the exact same thing, K, V, and this is like, we're getting very similar amounts every single time, right? We're losing a little bit, but you can do this so many times before you run out of blackstone. You get so many pebbles. And then you just make sure you open the right crafting window in order to do it. Kind of feels like cheating. If I'm being completely honest with you, it feels a little bit cheaty. But it's in the game. I mean, we are slowly but surely running out of it. That's probably going to be the last one that I do. I will still make it into regular blackstone though, just so that we can store it a little bit easier and we don't have any of those pebbles lying around. But that is 28 ancient debris. Perfect. With that, we can go ahead and make that into 2 netherite scraps using this. I don't believe it can be... Well, it can be done in the squeezer, but it's actually worse. This is only a 75% chance to get 2. If we just do it in our inventory, it's guaranteed to get 2. So that is where I'm going to do it. Go ahead and throw that in there. And that gives us 56 netherite scrap, which we're going to need more gold to be able to process. So we should have a bunch of gold in here. I'll grab that. I'm actually going to throw out this copper ore hammer at this point because it is now kind of annoying. So I'm going to grab a couple more of these. Let's go with 10. Let's go with 12. That'll be fine. Okay, I clearly said storage. Shift click. I see. Alright, that can go there. We can go ahead and make ourselves a whole bunch of these, which we actually need more sticks for, which is kind of funny. Shift click there. Use, and that, and that. And now we can go ahead and take these ore hammers, and they should each do a stack before they run out, right? And we can take that gold dust, Throw half a stack in each of our furnaces. And be good. Right, done. Perfect. And then to process this netherite scrap, I am going to not use this recipe because this is so damn expensive. We can actually use a gold... Okay, that's a netherite trapdoor. Never mind. So yeah, none of these recipes are particularly good. So what we're actually going to try and use is alloying from Orotech. And this just uses 1 and 1 and produces you with 1. And to make this, it's not too bad. We do need a little bit of electrum. We need some iron. That's fine. I wish you could go back, but okay. Orotech alloying? Alloy. What was it called? Hold on. Hold on. Netherite ingot. How do I make this? This is with the... I swear that's what I put in. But, oh, it's the foundry. Okay. Well, let's add that over there so that we can remember it. So yeah, that is going to be steel, which I said we were going to need steel for. We need a little bit of nickel and more steel. Nickel, steel, and there was one other thing, right? Electrum. Nickel is, I think, a composite. And electrum might be a composite as well. Oh no, nickel is there, so that's coming next. And then electrum is just gold and redstone. That's easy. Alright, perfect. Gold. And redstone. Let's just make 2 for now. I think that's all we needed. Yep, 2 of those. We can make a cauldron. Whoops. We're going to not make the motor yet because we need nickel. That should be coming soon. And then just copper. So that should be very, very easy. And we should probably start processing a whole bunch of this. I'm going to take any of the full stacks because we can break those down nice and easily. And I'll leave any of the stacks that aren't full. And once they do get full, we can go from there. But that is going to require a whole bunch of these bad boys. Actually, let's just do this. Go in here and say there. That should give us 20 hammers. I think that'll do for right now. And then I'm actually going to grab those hammers out because I actually prefer to do this in this inventory because we can just quickly go ahead and do exactly this. And thankfully, they take up the exact same amount of room. And that should be a whole bunch of ore that we can then go ahead and get processing. And speaking of processing ore, we should probably consider upgrading our setup. And for right now, all of this can just live in here. And we'll get it out a little bit later. We need a couple more. We actually need one more than that. And we're out. Okay. Well, we're not going to have all of it. Let's go for the gold because we're probably going to need that more than anything else. And we'll go for the iron. Go in there. And the rest can go in there. And we need to start working on smelting up a whole bunch of, at this point, probably iron because it's going to last for longer, right? If we go for the hammer. Actually, it might not. It might not be better. The copper one might just be better off. Okay, well, let's get 4 of those. These are pretty much done. And once they finish, we can go ahead and replace all these with copper and resupply our hammers. 2 stacks of gold. Always nice to have. Perfect. Wheat seeds don't belong in here. Alright. We should also now be starting to see nickel come through. We have a stack of nickel there. How much iron do we have? Can we just quickly make an iron ore hammer? We have a block there. Let's just make another block. And make that. And then we can go ahead and use that. Does this use... Okay. So the iron ore hammer is technically better. It doesn't use as much durability. The copper one uses a full stack. Looks like the copper one will do like 1.5 stacks maybe. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Where did that nickel go? That is my question. I know it's in here somewhere. Should be a stack of nickel here somewhere. Come on. Where are you? Fine, I'll search for it. Thank you. Oh, I was looking for 1 stack, not 2. That's probably why I couldn't find it. Alright. This furnace situation is not it. Let's clear all this out, because if we don't, then everything will go flying and we'll probably lose some stuff. Let's get all of you in there. Everything for the furnaces can go in there. That can come with me. There. And then iron furnace. We need the iron to gold. We should be able to do nice and easily. Just 4 blocks of gold. Get 4 of those going. Okay. I need the shift click to go to my inventory, please, because I keep losing things. There you are. And then we can go gold furnaces. I don't know why that one turned around, but sure. Actually hate that, so whoop, don't. Perfect. And then we should be able to go from gold to diamond with glass. 2, 3, 4. Make sure I'm actually standing in front of them this time. And then diamond to emerald, we should also be able to do. 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And then emerald to obsidian we can't do because we don't have blaze. Diamond to crystal. Obsidian to... yeah, okay. I think that's as far as we can currently go. We could potentially go ahead and make these into... what's it called? The powered ones. But we don't really have power yet, so that's probably not something that I'm going to do just yet. But these should now be a decent amount faster. So let's grab out some nickel. Let's go for iron. Let's go for 2 copper. And that should be good. Coal. How much coal do we have? We have plenty of coal. Let's get them all filled up. And we can go dum dum. And yeah, much faster. Perfect. Alright, that should all smelt up, and obviously we can pipe into this and stuff later on, but for right now I'm not particularly concerned. I would, however, like to upgrade that oak barrel, and we have the trader visiting us. They are willing to give us blue ice, which is actually kind of annoying to get, so assuming that I have emeralds, which I should, I will absolutely go ahead and buy some blue ice. I might even buy like 3 of those. It's going to make my life easier later on. The rest of it I don't care about, and I am going to trash my iron sword and make myself a diamond one and then murder this guy. Don't mind me. Thank you. And then murder the llamas. Don't fall off. Come on, don't fall off. Why are you guys so close to the edge? Okay, one's dead. Can you stop? There we go. And our first piece of leather, as well as 2 leads, which is exactly what I wanted. Perfect. All right. And that blue ice is fantastic because we can use that with the extractor to go ahead and make a whole bunch of different things, including blackstone, which is important. You know, because that way we can get ancient debris. And we can also make regular ice, basalt, and we can also use it with the block generator to make basalt, ancient stone. Actually don't know what that is, but sure. So yeah, that'll be just generally be a good thing to have. I'm very happy that we managed to pick that up from the trader. Alright, I was about to say that I wanted to upgrade that chest, and I believe we have some upgrades in here. Yeah, we have basic to iron and iron to gold. So we can do that, and then we shouldn't run out of room in here at all. Fantastic. All right, how are we looking here? That's all done. Let's get all of our resources out. And then we should be able to make the thing that I wanted to make, which was the foundry. We have a look at that. That is going to require the motor, which is going to require 2 magnetic coils. It makes 4, so we don't have to make multiple of those. Then we're going to make the motor. Get that done. And then we have our foundry. But this isn't going to work on its own. We also need 3 machine cores. So we need to look up Orotech machine core, and we just need the primitive machine core, right? We just need 3 of these, which is just a crafting table and a whole bunch of planks. So 3 of those, grab this, 3 of them, and that is everything we need. Now this will, I believe, require power, but I'm actually not 100% sure if it does. I guess let's find out. I don't know where I'm going to put this. I don't have the best spot for it, but since our lava is over here and I'm pretty sure this requires power, this is where it's going to live. We place it down, it doesn't really do anything. We have to click on it 3 times with these machine cores. Right click on it 1 more time and it will open up. And yes, it does require power. But once we get power, we can then turn our netherite scrap into netherite ingots, and that is fantastic. The way that this quest wants you to start making power is with... okay, I've done that, but sure. It wants you to start it with the magmatic generator, which is nice and easy, so let's go ahead and do that. Magmatic generator times 1, that is going to require a furnace and a block of redstone, and then we can go ahead and grab that. And honestly, that should be enough power for right now. I don't think we'll need particularly more than that. We just need a way of getting both cobblestone into this, which is easy because we have a ton of cobblestone over there. And then lava out, right? So we need some item pipes and some fluid pipes. Item pipes we already have in here somewhere. And we also have an advanced pipe upgrade. So I think I will go ahead and grab one of those just to make sure that this is nice and quick. And then where are my item pipes? I know you're in here somewhere. Let's actually sort by mod instead. I'm more used to that view. And then we'll also get some fluid pipes. 16 should be more than enough. And we can go from the back of you up and across. That's not where I wanted that to go. That's fine. And that will pump cobblestone into each of those. Break you, don't need that. We can grab our wrench. Do that, and then we'll throw that advanced upgrade in there. Nothing is in the thing, so that's absolutely fantastic. And they should all now be full of cobblestone. And then from there, we just go ahead and line these with fluid pipes, run them down into the magmatic generator, and make sure they are all extracting lava. And this is now filling up, which is giving our foundry power, which means we can run straight back over here, grab ourselves as much gold as we need, which is 56, and turn that 56 netherite scrap into netherite. Now, this isn't going to be super fast, but that's fine. That's fine. So we have power officially. We are generating more than we're using, which is nice. And we are making netherites. Perfect. Just in lieu of trying to get all of these quests done, I am going to make myself an iron furnace. Because otherwise it's not going to count a whole bunch of things that we do from this point on. And I don't want that to happen. So that should be that quest complete. Then if I go ahead and pick up the magmatic generator, that should be that quest complete. And this is pretty much done. Right, we've also crushed blackstone, which is nice. You can throw the magmatic generator back down, and that will continue working. Fantastic. That iron furnace honestly can probably just get trashed. I don't care about it even a little bit. All right. Things are looking good. Things are looking good. My voice is starting to hurt already. And look at this. Look at all this ore that we have. Is it even worth breaking this down, or is that just another step that I don't want to deal with? Like, should we just be piping this all directly into our furnaces? And then not worrying about it from that point? Because that seems like a good idea to me. I feel like that's plenty. Do we really need to break this down? I don't know that we do. I really don't know that we do. If we have a look at this, we can do bottom input. I am very tempted to just say screw it and pipe directly from this. I feel like I don't need this much stuff. And if it's manual, I'm less likely to do it, right? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, because that's going to be nice and easy. All right, so in order to get that done, let's grab ourselves the item pipes. I'm going to stick these on the back, I think. We'll run them down. That needs to go away. Down here. I don't want these to connect. So place that. Get rid of that. Just check that nothing ended up in here. And it didn't. Fantastic. Alright, and then I'm going to have item pipes going across the top into there. I'm going to say reset all. Top is going to be output. Back is going to be input. I'll do that on all of them. Top, output, back, input. Yes. Top, output, back, input. Top, output, back, input. And then the bottom, I guess, can be my fuel input. That works. I'll figure out where I'm going to put that later. But for right now, that should work. And then I should be able to just grab this with the pipe wrench and wrench into all of those, which will clear out any of the output directly into here. Right? That's the plan. And then this chest back here should have everything that I need. And we can simply go like that. That's probably going to require an upgrade. Thankfully, we should have one in here somewhere. Advanced pipe upgrade. Go ahead and place that in there. And then this chest down here is going to empty all of its contents into these. And we'll start automatically smelting all of these things up. And we don't have to worry about it. And then we just need to figure out somewhere to put all of our coal, which is probably just going to run underneath. I believe I need more item pipes for this. And honestly, this is never going to be final. Our entire base will probably be redesigned at some point. But yeah, so let's grab ourselves a barrel since we have one. Item pipe, which we need some more of, which is going to be an additional 2 droppers. Let's make 2 sets of these because these get used quite a lot. And then item pipe from there, down, 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 break you. They are all connected, which is not ideal. Let's go ahead and unconnect all of those. This is a revelation. Am I seeing Minecraft? You are. You are seeing Minecraft. Welcome. Okay, it was just that one that connected, so that's fine. And then barrel there, but I want that to disconnect, please, because that's going to grab a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want in there. That can go there. And then we just simply say that is an output. This is going to be a whole bunch of coal. And now that we're using that like we are, we can take all of this coal out. And just so that we're not wasting any, we can turn this all into coal bits, coal pieces. Right? And that will be good. That is not the type of barrel that I thought it was, but you know what? It's fine. It'll work. It'll absolutely work. Perfect. And they should now, assuming that I set this right, that's fuel input. Fuel input. Fuel input and fuel input. Should all now fill up with coal and things. Maybe? Why are you not doing stuff? Oh, there it goes. Okay, maybe that's not fast enough. Maybe we need another upgrade for that. Honestly, improved is probably more than enough. Yeah, that'll be heaps. And that is now up and running. Fantastic. All right, let's grab some oak slabs and just repair this little section of the base so that we can't see the mess. Things are running back there. That's fine. It is what it is. We are almost full on this storage drawer already. And this is coming along nicely. All of our things are auto-smelted. Absolutely fantastic. All right. That is that pretty much dealt with. Now, obviously, we aren't getting as many resources as we could. We could double the amount we're getting, but it's more manual steps and I don't want to do that. So that is what it is. Right. Right. And I feel like that's a good stopping point for today. We've got a decent amount of stuff automated. We have automatic lava, we have power, we have automatic ore processing, kind of. I think the next thing to work on is some automatic sieving and some, you know, block production and expanding our base in general. But for today, that is where I'm going to leave it. My throat is a little bit sore. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a filler stream. I don't know when we'll come back to Minecraft. It might be a weekly thing. It might be every now and then. It might be never again. You just never know. But with all that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, please go ahead and make sure to leave a like and a comment for the sake of engagement. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, although I would be very surprised if none of you are subscribed at the moment. And until next time, happy building. Happy building, I guess. Bye, guys.